Jai Jinendra and Jai Siddhatma. Uh, in this video, I'll be discussing about what is temporary Thyaagh, okay? Which means renouncing certain things just for a certain period of time. It may not be permanently, but just for a certain period of time. Now you might be thinking, well, why am I saying this? See, in Jainism, of course, Jainism never forces anyone to follow its principles. Jainism does not even force the Jains also to follow its principles. It is like, completely, Jainism gives us the full freedom and liberty to practice Jainism as much as possible and to the best of our abilities. But today's topic being temporary Thyaagh. Now, what is temporary Thyaagh, and how is doing temporary Thyaagh useful? Okay, now let's understand this. In Jainism, the most ultimate goal, or the most, you can say, the supreme goal for every individual in Jainism is to attain moksha, which is nirvana, okay? Siddhalok, Siddhashila, okay? Siddhalok, nirvana or moksha. So, since moksha is the ultimate goal for every individual in Jainism, one of the most important principle, apart from ahimsa and anekantavada, is aparighraha. Aparighraha, which means, trying to be detached from the material world. Now, for many of us, especially these days when, the world is becoming, where the world is growing more and more physically and materially, where, as we all know, we call this the Pancham Lok. In Jainism, we have got two cycles, Utsarpini and Avasarpini. In that, right now it is Avasarpini, and in this Avasarpini, it is the fifth time. It is the fifth Kal, okay? It is called the Pancham Kal. And in this Pancham Kal, as we all know, like, we are living in the modern age. And, more people, even the Jains, we happen to be more attracted towards physical things as compared to spiritual things. So in today's day and age of modernization, westernization, and in today's day and age of science, logic and reason, and even technology, okay, we can live the life the way we want to, but if in today's day and age, if we as Jains, we are not able to practice aparighraha properly, and let's say we may not be able to renounce anything permanently, no problem. The least we can do is we can set up our own goals for every year, and that year, we can practice doing temporary Thyaagh, which means temporary renunciation. So let's say, for example, we may not be able to permanently renounce certain things in our life, but at least, the least we can do is we can limit those things. Let's say in Jainism, okay, I'll just give you a few examples right now. For example, in Jainism, it is mentioned that, see, once again, I'm telling you, Jainism never forces anyone to follow its principles, okay? Jainism gives complete liberty to us, okay? Jainism never forces or pressurizes anyone to follow it. But according to the rules of Jainism, for those Jains, okay, listen carefully, for those Jains who want to take Diksha and become a Jain monk, there are certain things which we should avoid, such as unnecessarily playing in the swimming pool. Okay, unnecessarily going to swimming pool and diving and playing in the swimming pool. We should try to avoid it. But if we can't avoid it, the least we can do is we can at least limit these activities to a certain extent. Okay, so let's say, for example, in today's day and age, see, all of us are very modern, and to be very frank and honest, I also am myself a very modern Jain. Okay, I practice. If you remember, in many of my previous videos, I've also mentioned to you that along with being a proud Jain, I'm myself a very modern Jain. Okay, I practice Jainism as much as I can, but along with practicing Jainism, I also make sure that I enjoy my worldly life to the fullest. So, along with following Jainism and along with following our great Indian culture, I also practice Western culture and modern culture, almost almost to the top. See, how much ever I respect and follow Indian culture and Jain culture, that much almost to the same level, I also practice and follow the modern and the Western culture. But at least even though I follow Western culture, in order to have my hold or have my grip in Jainism, I make certain rules for myself. For example, last year I made a rule for myself that for this 1 year, I'm not going to eat outside in hotels and restaurants, just for 1 year. And I was like 90 to 99%, I was able to follow it. And after I followed it, it gave me so much of satisfaction. See, for those Jains who are trying to take Diksha and become a Jain monk, there are a lot of things which they have to renounce from this world. One of the most important thing is, see, they have to renounce eating kandamul. Okay, kandamul, which means root vegetables. And next, they have to completely avoid traveling in vehicles unnecessarily. Okay, so this is another point. And one more thing is, they have to stop eating outside in hotels and restaurants. And they should always stick to eating fresh and clean homemade food. Okay, fresh and clean homemade Jain food. Okay, not just food, fresh and clean homemade Jain food. So these are the rules. And they should avoid unnecessarily, people for fun, we go to amusement parks, not amusement park, this water parks. There are lots of water parks where in this fun world, and there is this water park called Wonderla in Karnataka. And I'm sure all over India, and in fact all over the world, there are lots of water parks. And even in the beach, people go surfing, sailing, and water surfing on the surfboard and all. These are activities done for fun and entertainment. Well, okay, fun and entertainment is one thing, but if you want to understand Jainism in depth, by doing these activities, there is lot of violence caused to the bacteria in the water. Like we say, jalakaya ka जीवी. Okay, जल में रहने वाले जो जीव होते हैं, उनको बहुत तकलीफ होते हैं, और उनके लिए a lot of bacteria in the water, a lot of living organisms in the water will be harmed and killed when we like go for swimming and water surfing and water sailing, etc. So even like in our daily life, whenever like we brush our teeth, we take shower, we wash our hands, lots of living organisms in the water are harmed. That is why Jainism also says, okay, fine, I mean, see, as humans we have to use certain resources to survive, but the least we can do is we can try to keep our entertainment in a certain limit. Like some people like every day, like like some people every day, like let's say they have like they have like retired from their job, and like now they are just like living simply like living their rest of the life, just like spending time with their family, and just like passing time in life. So what those people will do, like almost like every day they will go to the beach, do water surfing, do swimming, go to swimming pool, and swim in the swimming pool, all these things. Okay, fine, okay, if you want to see, uh, we as Jains, we never say don't have fun. You want to have fun, you want to enjoy life, please go ahead and enjoy your life. You see, even me, I am a very proud Jain myself. I also tell you, go out and enjoy your life and live your life to the fullest. Fine, okay, you want to go to the swimming pool, you want to go to the water park, you want to eat in hotels and 5-star hotels, you want to go to the mall and eat in the restaurants in the mall. All this is fine, but the least you can do is try to limit these activities. In order to limit these activities, that's why you can follow this idea of temporary Thyaagh. Let's say, for example, like some people, they don't want to renounce anything permanently, and to be very honest, I am also one of them. See, if you had seen my previous video, like exactly in this same place, I had made one video called "My Way of Being a Jain." Yeah, I had made it on the 31st of December last year. Okay, just before the new year, on the 31st of December 2023, I had made that video exactly here, right in this place. So in that I had mentioned to you, out of all the principles in Jainism, if there is one principle in Jainism which I do not follow, okay, it is Aparighraha. Out of all the principles in Jainism, my most favorite principle is the concept of Anekantavada, which means practicing complete open-mindedness. And the only principle of Jainism which I do not follow permanently is the principle of Aparighraha. So then like one day, like say, even in my mind, I also happen to think, see, okay, I want to enjoy my worldly life to the fullest, but one day I also want to come on the path of liberation and attain moksha, which is nirvana. So like, okay, the good news is I'm able to enjoy my worldly life to the fullest, the way I want, and definitely even in the future it will happen. But since like along with enjoying my worldly life, I also sometimes I also think, how can I slowly renounce this material world, and and how can I slowly come on the path of liberation, which is moksha. So then this idea flashed in my mind. Okay, so if I can't renounce anything permanently, no problem. The least I can do is I can limit certain activities of my worldly life. So that I'll just give you example of around 3 to 4 years back. I'll just give you the example of my last 3 to 4 years. Okay. So let's say 4 years back. Okay, 4 years back from now, in the year of you can say 2019 or 2018. Once again, so 2024, 23, 22, 21, 20. Yeah, 2018 or 2019. Yeah. So in the year of 2019, I had made a promise to myself that, okay, this entire year, I'm not going to, just for that year, okay, not permanently, just for that year, I'm not going to, I'm not going to consume any cool drinks. I mean, as it is, I don't consume too much of cool drinks. Maybe like, roughly you can say like 2 to 3 bottles of cool drinks per year. Okay, in one entire year, every year maximum I just drink like around 2 to 3 bottles of cool drinks. Okay, cool drinks meaning like soft drinks. Okay, not alcohol, soft drinks. So in the year of 2019, I had made this promise to myself, okay, just for this year, I'm not going to consume any cool drinks. Okay, I'm not going to consume any soft drinks just for that year. After that, in 2020, I mean, like 2020 was like, it was also it was COVID time. But, in 2020, I made a promise to myself that, okay, this year, I'm going to like, every day I'm going to use my mobile phone only for a certain number of hours and not more than that. So this rule I made for myself for the year of 2020. And later for 2021, I had made this rule that, okay, for this entire year, okay, 2021, for this entire year, I'm not going to I'm not going to I'm not going to eat any food which has been which has been prepared by someone who is a non-vegetarian. So this rule I had made for myself just for that year. And after that, for the year 2022, I had made this rule for myself that, okay, just for this year, I'm not going to, wait, 1 second, what did I make? This rule I had made that after 8 o'clock at night, I'm not going to use my mobile phone for worldly things. Rather, after 8 o'clock at night, I'm only going to use my mobile phone for listening to Jain prayer songs and for listening to Jain meditation music. So this rule I had made for myself. And after that, last year I had made this rule for myself that just for this year, which is 2023 by the way, I had made this rule. I had made this rule for myself that I'm not going to eat outside in hotels and restaurants just for last year, just for that 1 year, not permanently. And in the year 2023, almost like starting from Jan 1st 2023 until around December 29th or December 30th 2023, I did not eat in hotels and restaurants. So so these are examples of temporary Thyaagh. Okay, see, now why did I make these rules for myself? See, to be very honest and frank with you, I am a modern Jain. I am a modern Jain, and along with practicing Jainism, I also enjoy my worldly life, and and how much proudly how proudly I practice and follow Indian culture. Same way, I also just like how I practice Indian culture very proudly. Similarly, I also practice and follow Western culture and modern culture very, very proudly. So since though I'm a Jain, though I'm a proud Jain, since I'm more interested in this worldly life, but still I also wanted to practice Jainism a little bit more as compared to before. So these are the rules I made for myself. Okay, now I may not be able to renounce anything permanently, but the least I can do is every year I can make one rule for myself, such as, okay, this year, just for this year, I will not do certain things, or just for this year, I'm not going to eat certain things. So this was the rule I made for myself. Yeah. So one more rule I had made for myself. Yeah. This last year, not only did I make this rule for myself that I'm not going to eat outside in restaurants and hotels, but last year I also made this rule for myself that I'm not going to eat kandamul, which is root vegetables. Okay. So last year in 2023, I had made this rule for myself that I'm not going to eat kandamul, and I'm not going to eat anything in restaurants and hotels, just for last year. And as I told you, 99% I was able to follow it, and that gave me so much of happiness and peace of mind. And after only after December 30th 2023, only after that, this year, after 2024 began, that once again, sorry guys, only after that, once again, I started to go outside to malls, and have my lunch in malls, at the restaurants and hotels. So for this year, one of the rule which I've made for myself is, I'm not going to eat my food after sunset. So इस साल के लिए मैंने ये नियम लिया हूँ कि मैं रात्रि भोजन त्याग करूँगा. और एक और बात, अगर हो सकता है तो मैं इसको ज़िंदगी भर फॉलो करने की भी कोशिश करूँगा. So just like how every year I make certain rules for myself, this year I know, just for this year I have made a rule for myself that I'm not going to eat anything after sunset. And one more thing, this rule I've made for this year, but this rule which I made, that not eating after sunset, this rule, if possible, I want to follow it for the rest of my life. Okay, I want to follow it for the rest of my life. So hopefully I'll be able to follow it. But let's see. I hope every situation in my life will be supportive to me, and I'll be able to follow this. But at least for this year, I have made this commitment that after sunset, after the sun has gone for the day, after the sun has gone down for the day, I'm not going to eat anything. Maybe only water and maybe little bit of milk sometimes, but after sunset, no consumption of solid foods. So this is my rule for this year. And as I told you, I really hope that I can follow this for the rest of my life as well. And if you want to know what rule my mother has taken, my mother has made a rule for herself that just for this year, only for this year, this 1 year of 2024, my mother has renounced consumption of milk. So just for this year, no matter whatever festival, no matter whatever parties, birthday parties, festivals and functions come, my mother, just for this year, my mother will not be consuming milk, kheer, and any product which involves direct milk. And direct milk means including sweets, many of the sweets they are made by milk. So just any food which involves directly, which has milk involved in it directly, those foods my mother will not be consuming for this year because it contains milk. So my mother basically, just for this year, she has renounced milk, and I have renounced eating food after sunset for this year. But as I told you, I really hope that I can follow this for the rest of my life. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, in order to be a true Jain, even if you want to practice doing Aparighraha, Aparighraha means trying to detach yourself from the material world. But if you if you can't detach yourself from the material world, if you're not able to if you're not able to renounce anything permanently, the least you can do, okay, the least you can do is do temporary Thyaagh. Okay, temporary Thyaagh means, okay, just for a certain period of time. And one more thing, guys, this making this rule for 1 year, this is according to me. I'm not forcing this on anyone. This I'm doing for myself. Let's say you can do it as per you can do it as per your own ability. Let's say some of you may not be able to renounce anything for 1 year. No problem. At least you can make this rule for yourself that, okay, I will renounce certain thing, maybe just for 6 months, maybe just even for let's say 1 month you renounce something, still that will be considered as renunciation for a month. So you can go ahead. If you can renounce anything for 1 month, please go ahead. If you can renounce anything for 2 months, please go ahead. Even if you can renounce anything for 6 months, still go ahead. But my main point is, if you can't renounce anything permanently, or if you don't want to renounce anything permanently, fine. At least you can limit your worldly activities, and your at least you can limit your worldly comforts like this, just by doing temporary Thyaagh. So that's it, guys. This is the end of the video. And now I'll be after this I need to go home. I'm actually I've come to this Jain temple, which is actually quite far away from my home. But anyway, now I'll just end this video. So one last time I'm telling you why I'm making this video, and why I'm stressing on the point of temporary Thyaagh. Because many of you may think that, okay, I want to be a true Jain, but I'm not able to renounce anything. No problem. If you can't renounce anything permanently, doesn't matter. But the least you can do is just make a rule for yourself. Just make a commitment for yourself for a certain period of time. Like how for me a certain period of time means for 1 year. So ever since 2019, for every year, ever since the year of 2019, I have started to make a rule for myself, okay, in order to practice Aparighraha. So for me, my certain period of time is basically 1 year. And as I told you, you can do it as per your comfort level, okay. So if you can't renounce anything permanently, no problem at all. Just just make a commitment that from this time to this time, I will not indulge in certain activities, or I will not do certain things. So at least by doing this, okay, you will get this punya of temporary Thyaagh. So by doing temporary Thyaagh, you are actually practicing. Doing temporary Thyaagh is actually a practice for trying to follow Aparighraha. See, because one fine day, if you want to attain moksha, you have to practice Aparighraha completely. So if your goal is moksha, if your aim is to take Diksha and become a Jain monk, and if your ultimate goal is moksha or nirvana, then maybe right now you are not in a position to renounce anything permanently, but at least you can you can renounce certain things for a certain period of time, and this is called temporary Thyaagh. So even by doing temporary Thyaagh, you will acquire the punya karma, you will acquire the good karmas of Thyaagh, even by doing temporary Thyaagh. So that's it, guys. I hope you have understood my point. And sorry, please forgive me for making so many repetitions. The reason why I repeat is I just try to make things 100% clear to you. Okay, so that's it, guys. So any one of you, if you're not able to practice Aparighraha completely, no problem. Just make certain commitments for yourself. And see, just because, one more time I'm telling you, just because I make commitments for myself for 1 year, doesn't mean that you should do the same. Well, for you, even like, you can make commitments for yourself just for 6 months, or maybe 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. But even for 1 month at least, try to make this commitment and focus on doing temporary Thyaagh. And by doing temporary Thyaagh, one fine day you will be able to practice Aparighraha to the fullest. That's it, guys. Now I'll end this video. If you have any questions, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And take care. Jai Jinendra and Jai Siddhartma. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayiryanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Sauvasahunam, Eso Pancha Namokaro Sauvapava Panasano, Mangalanant Sauvesim Padamam Havai Mangalam. That's it, guys. Take care. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And please share this video to as many Jain friends as possible. Thank you.